doing? Welcome back. It's been a little bit since I done a regular YouTube video. Kind of, because been posting, past streams and everything, but this recaps pretty much, so I guess, yeah, it is a new video. But, so today we're going to be working on the remake of Android 21. You've seen my YouTube video on it, and it's one of my most viewed videos on my platform. Is this one? Some of you might even recognize this one from 4 years ago, but I've been putting off remaking Android 21 for a while, and I don't know, it's other projects come in, and when it comes to shows, it's, a lot of live things are just, just in the way and everything, and then you just don't get a lot of time to really work on the other stuff, and that's what it was, especially for a while. This guy kind of burned out making videos for a while, so I'm starting to get back into it again, especially understand how to record, which has been interesting. So we'll go right ahead and get started on the process. Okay. So I got a rough sketch already started, but now I'm doing the final rendition of her badonkadonks. But pretty much it just helps me out making the recordings a little bit shorter, because I tend to take a long time just to figure out how I want the pace to look like. So that's why I did it this way, and do the final, render of it on camera or on stream. So we look like we're getting kind of good. Getting a good idea how I want to look. A lot of times when it comes to doing these sketches and line arts, I tend to get a little bit more off track when it comes to doing the line arts, because it's pretty much just a guide, and there's a lot of times I'll just go off course out of the line art, out of the sketch, and it's fun to try to freehand parts of the picture where you didn't sketch out, and just go with the flow. I mean, I love listening to music along this part of the process, definitely. Just kind of going with the flow, and now we're just pretty much getting the base down of the hair, so it just makes these a lot easier to do the body and the other items that are on the character. And I tell you, jumping around on layers just to make things work, I mean, sometimes I get lost and you can see how many layers it's the layer right here. Oh, that's right, I got a hand. Let me bring out the hand. I forgot about you. This is the hand. I made this last night. I hope you guys like it, because it's a good way to point at things or scratch my ear a little bit. I mean, I don't know. So it's a good tool right here. So now we're just getting the line art done on the character herself. And when it comes to the tongue, I did come back for it. You guys can see what I'm going to do here not for long. Clean up the leftover parts of the hair that are supposed to be kind of hidden. And now we're going ahead and getting the eyes, the eyelashes, which is one of my favorite parts, the whole process of doing fan arts of characters. And I gotta tell you, I'm happy how this one turned out. I'll try to stick with the aesthetic of the Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball, character design, the way they do the eyes for the female characters. And I don't know, something about when I do these eyelashes, the detailed ones like this, it just works so well with the female Dragon Ball characters. Now we got the eyes done, and definitely happy how that turned out. Dimming it down, that it's behind the hair to kind of give a little bit of sense of depth to it, but still see the eyelashes a little bit. Kind of similar like how you see with like some of like other animes that they do that too. But here we go. This is where I started getting into doing the final details, and then I changed my mind for doing the ton and did it this way. I kind of pushed the boundaries a little bit on this one more than the original, and the original was pushing boundaries at my time. And so pretty much going back to the hair, because you know I was sitting there for a while during the process, like maybe I should push the look of this piece a little bit, see how people react to it. and that's the fun part, you know, it's just seeing how people are going to react to stuff like this. I mean, it's like, it's pushing the levels of ecchi pretty much, or close to hentai in a way, because these are ego, my wife. Well, I don't know how to say a term, but you see on places, you know, images on like Higo or something like that, and pretty much push that look on this one, just like the original. And the creepy look of no eyes on the character, which gives you nightmares. So now we get into more of the details of the hair and starting getting the base of it down, which that's the part that took the longest. I mean, well, it took a long time. But that's what it's fun to make. I mean, it's relaxing, especially when I listen to some music in the background, and especially when I have some little bit of drinks along the side too. I mean, it's relaxing. It's almost like I don't know, I guess just relaxing. But people wonder why it's like, why do you make these pieces with the hair so like detailed? I mean, you don't have to go that far, especially on a long tub. I don't know, it's just, I like doing it. It's just, that's all I can really say to the people, is that I just like doing it. Plus it just gives it a little bit more of a detailed look on a original platform of the character design. So it's kind of like getting the best of both worlds, to still getting the original look by pushing the details of that hair. But I'm getting to the dark part of the hair, so pretty much you see down here, so more of the darker area, more of the areas that are more covered. So yeah, it kind of gives it like giving it a more of the final look and everything. Just kind of probably the most part that gives it the most depth, pretty much. Not really like shadow, but more the darker creases, especially when it comes time to doing the hair color, which you're going to see here in a sec. But like I tell you, it took me a couple hours just to work on this hair, just mainly the base part. And it's pretty rewarding after the whole thing's done. Especially when you get into this part of the whole process of finishing the grayscaling. And originally, when I did the hair of the first piece 4 years ago, I didn't learn grayscaling. I had to handpick the colors like I did just now, and did all the process just based on the colors. But ever since I've done the grayscaling, it has cut time in half pretty much. Now, again the body color, now again the grayscaling done of the character. Starting to get a little plump. So pretty much it's getting pretty much the same process like I did with the hair again, the base color, base shades down, clean it up a little bit, and start getting a little bit dark, and start getting darker a little after. And using like the multiply tool, the multiply layer mask and kind of makes it a little bit darker on the areas where you did more of the darker shades of the other grays. So it kind of gets a little bit, when you get to the more lighter areas, it'll look a little bit brighter. So it kind of helps making the whole process work so smoothly. So we're pretty much getting to the more final part is, you know, the darker parts. So like pretty much getting the final look of it and kind of getting the base of it down, and a little bit extra right there. Just a little bit. But I tell you, man, I really pushed boundaries on this thing, and you guys would be seeing the unveil of it pretty much. Once you see the video, it'd be pretty much like, this is future me. Pretty much today. Once this is done and I'll make the unveiling on social media, that's when the video will be posted. Which you're watching right now. So getting the ton down, it just looks wild. I gotta tell you, it really does. And now we're getting to the metal part, so like the necklace, I don't know what you consider that thing. And then the earrings, then more of the metal look that I do on my automotive pieces. If you've seen my automotive pieces, how I got started pretty much is drawing cars. But trying to get back into it again here soon. Now we're getting the eyes. And like, the eyes are just fun when it comes to gradient mapping. I mean, I really try to make it different, especially playing around with the tabs on gradient mapping. And especially after you're done with all the grayscaling, and the picture looks popping. Get the eyebrows, get that taken care of. Shadow underneath the white eyelashes. Now we're going ahead and get the shadow done, which the shadowing in itself took a while. Because you gotta make sure you know what places are going to be darker, what places are going to be more faded out, depending how far it's away from your face or tongue. But this is where the piece is starting to come together pretty much. Once that shadowing started coming in, that's where we're getting pretty close on getting the final product of this. And especially like when you get into the more lighter parts, and you're gonna see the ton. I went nuts on that one. But like, there's a lot of new things that I did learn off camera when I'm taking breaks in between the recording process of this. So trying to give like the more wet look to the ton and everything, which has been interesting trying to do. So if you notice how I done the shadowing, it's not just like, you know, grays and blacks. What I did is using like a dark purple, like a darkish purple, and then the more like dark, like, you know, the really dark areas of the shadowing, it's like a dark blue. It just kind of gives a little bit more color, so it just kind of does make it look flat. And you see, like, gives a little hint of color. And then the original piece, I add little hearts in there, just like you see on those ego faces. Now we're getting to the moist.
Yeah, boy.
Not the whole thing, it's the tongue. I went pretty crazy, like you can see already. The saliva and everything. But it's like the look of it. Originally, when I was trying to do it on the first piece, I didn't know how to do it, so I did a little bit of it. But I want to kind of try to go further on this one versus the original, and that's the whole plan of doing that, achieving that point. I think I pretty much achieved that already. Now we're just pretty much taking a break from the ton and just start working on the shadows of the hair and pretty much finalizing the hair as well. Now just took a break from that and just like jumped in on the idea that I thought of during the process of doing the hair is kind of give a little bit more of the wetness where the tongue's landing and the saliva where it's dripping, you know, something crazy on it. But I think I did pretty good on that thing, on that part. Let me know what you guys think of the final results. But like at this point, I know where like I'm happy with how it's turning out, and this is definitely, it took the cake pretty much. And would I do this again? Probably not. I think it, like when you see the final results, you get an idea of where I'm just gonna leave it as it is and be happy with the results of the outcome of the whole thing. And depending on like the different color tones that you're doing the shadow over on, you see the blue quite a bit, and that's where you see on the hair color, it really pops. So instead of not being black or grayed out, you know. Yeah, it really ties it up. I mean, it looks nicer than doing shades of black and grays. It doesn't make it look flat. So pretty much getting the more of the cell shade where the hair is kind of like over the other parts of the hair, and it kind of gives it a little bit more depth. And now we're getting to the more of the final like fun details, so like the blush and everything. And like those Higo faces, they're like very blush on the cheeks to get the lines, which you see here in a sec. Get lighting done to kind of give a little bit of depth of the whites and darks and everything. And there we go with the face. I think I changed it over time too. Probably not. The video's already been made, so it took me. Sometimes I try to remember. So not really fully finalized the lighting on the character's body, but pretty much took a break. Probably took a break from that. I can't remember honestly. And started working on the hair a little bit. Now we're back to the body to finish up the shadowing, the lighting a little bit. So I kind of just go back and forth, you know, just get a break for parts of it, kind of keep moving while taking a break from one part of the piece and just go back and forth. And I figure out how to make the light brush that I usually use on Clip Studio. So this is the first time actually making a piece that's full 100% made on Clip Studio. And I'm happy how the brush turned out. I mean, it took me a while to figure it out, but I finally did. I'm happy. And pretty much doing the underglow to kind of give a little bit of extra detail and everything. It just made it a lot more fun doing a little bit of that underglow. And sometimes, like other pieces, I tend to forget to do that, especially when it comes to streaming and like I get really falling off a little bit, because they're like you're beating the time of the stream, and it just makes it very difficult to try to plan ahead the best way you can under a time limit. So a little bit of glow on a little bit of white glow on the outer part of the character, so it just gives it a lot of depth once you start doing it. But it's like the underglow, you don't want to be too hard, too bright and everything, so you want to try to achieve a little bit. And then get into like the underglow of the necklace part and give it a little bit of bright, you know, sense of like glow to it, kind of give it a little bit more extra detail. And then we're pretty much finalizing the whole thing, doing the shines and everything that I do on Procreate, but actually doing it here on the the studio for the first time. Added the hair locks, the little, not hair locks, the little strands of hair to kind of give a little bit more of a impact, a little bit more of the finalization pretty much. Kind of doing the little special shines to the hair and the body and the tongue. Give it a little bit like a fog, a steam look, like she's pretty excited. And then pretty much doing the background, just kind of made it simple, kind of had fun. A lot of difference between 4 years apart, and I'm happy how much I improved on doing anime art. Because like at the time I was making Android 21, it was starting to get more into professional wise of doing anime art. And at the time, this was the first time I actually bought the iPad 4 years ago. And this is one of my first artworks I did on that thing. And seeing the picture today and being fully done on the iPad, on the same device, literally, it's just amazing to see how far I've gotten within 4 years apart, which that's pretty wild for me to see. So I hope you guys like how it turned out and like the video and everything. So if you guys like to see more of these videos, there will be more being made. And as I mentioned, if you see last week's stream and see the posts on my social media, speaking of that, follow me on Instagram, Facebook, X, and Blue Sky for more updates for future projects and everything. But if you come across social media, you probably see my post on my profile that I am taking a break from streaming. So eventually I will be back. I'm planning on probably in a month, pretty much. So during the time, I'll be making more videos like this, and it'll help me get me into more video recordings too, and not just streaming, but doing stuff like this a little bit more too. So just kind of taking my time with everything and just trying to make sure I'm not going to get burned out streaming. So for the time being, guys, if you like to see more, subscribe on my channel. You'll see more videos like this, and hopefully the next one will be something wild as this. It's not going to be a remake, but I'll have some ideas too. Just trying to get my eyebrows to go big again. But yeah. Thank you all so much for watching. Give me a follow here on YouTube and for more videos and record live streams. So I'll see you guys on the next video. Have a good one, guys.